John, the Pogba issue that Didi raised there, I mean, Pogba was left out last night, and I'm sure he was left out against Liverpool as well. They were talking about a mystery injury, but there was no mystery injury. The fact that Pogba, who cost €100 million, really can't get in the team now, that's huge as well, isn't it?
Well, I think Pogba would be at the centre of the problems at Manchester United, because as we know, when he came in, a lot of money, as you say, on it. Mourinho described him as the complete midfield player. If he's a complete midfield player, then he's your first choice in the team. And for over 12 months now, he has been and expected to be the main player.
Yeah.
Now, as Mourinho, there's no doubt in the last month, 2 months, he has decided, watching him, he is not the complete midfield player.
He's not even.
And he's not even in the team. So therefore, he's starting from scratch again after 18 months in the club, dependent on Pogba being the man. Now, I think he has decided Pogba is not the man. And this is the most vital position in the team as far as I'm concerned. Now he's starting from scratch. And it's guesswork. Fellaini, we can't understand why that came in. Matt is left out of the team, and we're going back to what Didi said, what you said. All these changes can't be good for the team, but I think it centres a lot around the Pogba situation. He has decided now he is not a complete midfield player. I can't even play him in the team.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Pogba, Didi, I think you're more of a Pogba fan than I am, but from the first moment I saw him, well, certainly from the first couple of weeks, I just knew he wasn't a top player. And Graham Souness, to be fair to him, has stuck his neck out and said he's brainless. He doesn't understand the game. He plays as if Gary Neville has had a go at him now in a big way. Where are you on Pogba, if leaving aside the present result? I mean, what's he good at? For 100 million.
He's a powerful runner. Well, I think
he should be running
player.
in the Olympics. Sorry, Didi.
I think he travels with the ball. I think he can take people on. I think he's a player who can beat people one or one against one, which not many central midfield players can. And again, I think the further you keep him away from goal, from your own goal, the less responsibility you give him, I think the better he is. But he wants to play in a football inside. He wants to have possession of the ball, which Man United haven't got. And when they do have it, they struggle to get 3 or 4 passes together. So, as I said, the same goes for Pogba. I think it's very hard for an offensive player to shine in this United team. I still think he's a very capable player. When people say he's brainless, he doesn't understand the game. I think sometimes for offensive players, I don't think they need to understand the game the best, because a lot is instinct, and you've got to use your intuition and just do things which you think are best in this moment in time. And I think you saw it again yesterday. And in recent weeks when he did play, the first game in Seville, he came on, his confidence is shot to bits. And it goes to show again, it doesn't matter how much you cost, how good you are. Now you can say, well, this is part of the game. Sometimes you play, don't play.
Yeah.
But I think his confidence is affected. And he looks, at the moment, I've got to say, he looks a shadow of the player. He was at Juventus at times, and at United in his early days when he was first at United. But I wouldn't give up the ghost on him. I still think he's a very capable player, and I hope he'll play with a manager, for a manager, soon, where he can show what he's capable of. Because at the moment, I think we agree, he's better. You probably think he's better than what he shows at the moment. I think he's a lot better than what he shows at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think he is. I think he's just been found out. John, he came on last night, and Didi referred to his confidence levels. The first pass he had to give, he passes straight to a Sevilla player. The second time he was on the ball, he put it out of play. He missed play. So his confidence is shot.
Yeah.
But I saw him last week, and I want to put this to both of you, in an ad with Messi and Ronaldo. So they're trying to market this fellow that they paid €100 million for. That it's a marketing operation, and he's in an ad with Messi and Ronaldo. This guy shouldn't be in an ad with, anybody of that caliber. Well, what the hell's going on here?
Well, that's another issue.
It's not, but it's an issue, because if he's expected to live up to the responsibility that ad implies, that he's going to be a game changer like Messi and Ronaldo. That's in his head.
Yeah, well, we don't know what's going on in his head, but you can't blame him for somebody who wants him to go into an ad with Messi and somebody else. He's not responsible for that.
Well,
I know what you're saying.
Hold on a minute. Maybe Alex Ferguson or Matt Busby, maybe a great coach would have actually said, hold on a minute, let's get our priorities right here. You're not doing that ad. It's not good for you to be keeping that company and believing
that's a separate
propaganda.
issue, Eamon, if you don't mind me saying. That's nothing to do with Pogba. Pogba is Pogba, if that's the manager's position to say, look, I don't think this is right. And don't forget, in this situation, the manager mightn't have any say. This is a commercial issue, Eamon. And it's been a commercial issue from the time, I believe, that he signed for the club. But that's not Pogba's fault. If Pogba's told, and is getting paid for it, but told, you have to go into this ad with Messi, it's not up to Pogba to say, no, I'm not going into that ad. Maybe Mourinho should be saying it. This fella shouldn't. This is not right. It's not. I don't think it's right. We all agree it's not right. But this is the commercial world that we're talking about.
What I'm saying is, and I put the point to Didi, I think the whole Pogba saga from his signing, I think he was signed by Woodward, the chief executive. They put out spin that Real Madrid were competing with Manchester United for this great player. They spent 100 million euros to bring him to Old Trafford, and I think what Woodward was saying is we can bid for the big players, make no mistake about that, and here's Pogba. Now, he's not a big player, Didi, by any stretch of the imagination, and I think that decision alone indicates I don't think Mourinho wanted him.
Yeah, well, possibly. But I think he was signed in a time where Ed Woodward was under huge pressure because things went wrong with a couple of managers, and maybe he signed Pogba on his own doing to appease the fans, to say, here's the big dog. We can still bid for these. We bring Ibrahimovic in, we bring Pogba in, so we're still top of the charts.
Do you think Zinedine Zidane? Do you think Zinedine Zidane was crestfallen when he didn't get Pogba?
Well, I don't know. We've got different opinions on the player. As I said, I'm running out of arguments at the moment because he's obviously not performing. So it's hard to justify that by the moment. Whether he's worth 100 million, I'm not sure. He may not. But I think the issue then is if the chief executive does buy a player, you've got to bring a manager in who believes in their player, full stop, because it's just the whole package with his wage. You know, you talk about 150, 170 million. I think it's just too big a package to bring a manager in who says, well, I'll work with him, but I'm not too sure whether he'll play or how he plays or where he plays. And this is just an issue in-house which you have to sort out before, because, you know, the manager should be involved in the players coming in. I'm not somebody who says they can only or should only buy players the manager wants, but certainly they shouldn't bring a player in the manager doesn't want. And the way it looks at the moment, obviously it's very hard to play him. But if you pick Fellaini and McTominay ahead of 100 million man, that somewhere along the line something has gone wrong.
John, this Pogba issue, I don't want to make too much of it, but I think it is a huge thing that, even for the other players, like at the expense of Rashford, Lingard, who I think is a very useful player. I think these are better players than this guy.
Yeah, well, I think we've agreed on that. Eamon.
I mean, Rashford in particular is a potential England player.
Yeah,
a real good player.
Yeah, we've agreed on that. The problem, I think, I said there earlier on, it does go back to Pogba, because obviously when he was signed, Mourinho, for whatever reason, went along with the signing and said he was the complete midfield player. Now, as it's turned out, I think Mourinho, because of his own position, feels now, or always felt, he's not the complete midfield. Pogba's at the heart of the whole situation at Old Trafford, Eamon, because Didi referred to him as a player who plays as an offensive player. He's a central midfield player. That's where you dictate the game from. He's not capable of doing that. I would agree with Didi. In other positions, then he might show a lot more
For
than he showed
Juventus,
then.
he played wide on
the left. And he had Pirlo supporting him and giving him the ball. Now, when he was brought at Old Trafford, he was expected to do what Pirlo did. He's not capable of doing that. And Mourinho has realised now, I think he did go along with the signing, by the way, Eamon, and I think he's realised now, this guy is affecting me and my job, and he's leaving him out. And to be honest, I think Mourinho has handled that badly. Because the thing is about, I don't know Pogba, none of us know Pogba, but the way I see Pogba, I think Pogba is a very immature lad, loves to do a few tricks, and genuinely believes that he's great. Right. Now, with Mourinho leaving him out as in many ways as cruelly as he did, has shattered this belief.
Right.
So he's nothing now. He's nothing. He has ability, but he has no confidence.
Right.
Because I think Mourinho should have taken him to one side and said, look, you're not playing too well. I'm going to try you in a separate position. You're a terrific player and I'm going to try you in a separate position and keep that confidence there. I think he cut him out, and I think he's cut his whole confidence. What he believes is a great player. Realises now through the manager certainly doesn't think I'm a great player.
So he's shattered the illusion.
Exactly.
Okay.